cheeks apart. It looked like a grilled cheese pull.
Okay, even I gotta go. What the fuck did that come from?
What?
What the fuck did you just say?
Do you honestly want me to repeat it or no?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I love how disapproving your fucking model looks.
Thank you.
Great rigging. All right, well, hey, I guess we're ready, right? All right, well, fucking not all at once.
Okay, sure.
Ugh. Oh yeah, before we dive in, do we need to reassign parts or anything? Considering we have a full cast for like the first time in a hot minute.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna head Judge back down.
Charky. Charky.
All right.
Alright.
Yeah. We could make a good judge there, eh?
Alrighty, well, I'll hit the button. I hit the button. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully no boys and girls of under the age of 18, get the heck out. Welcome to another rousing night of Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. Huzzah. I've brought a cast with me, as per usual. They are not being held against their will. You can't prove it otherwise. But hey, let's introduce them. Back from a long hiatus that we're definitely not going to discuss, but definitely didn't involve making the papers in Florida, it's Lil Sharky.
That did not make the news in Florida, as all the papers have gone out of business because we can't read. Hey,
True.
y'all. I'm old. I need to stream this year. Let's have some fun.
Speaking of old, it's Chrisseries.
I'm Chris Rees. I lead the Blitz of Final Fantasy 14. We're on hiatus right now, but I'm going to be jumping in with some RPG stuff when I'm not house hunting.
If given the decision to pick between Shadow Hearts Kodelka and Dark Cloud 2, wouldn't know what to do, it's Oni Heart.
You know, I would. I would, hands down, probably pick Kodelka over all of those.
It's not a
I was
bad
going
call.
to say, I don't think Dark Cloud 2 stands a chance on that one, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Dark Cloud 2 is a
nah.
great game, though. Honestly,
I
like,
do like it,
Yeah.
but it's not on the priority list. Anyway, yeah. You know, I'm still doing my thing. Still working on these two models. It is kind of exhausting. And it's also getting hotter. So now
Bruh.
I'm losing the will to do anything because I cannot take the heat at all.
bruh, it is so humid in Philly right now.
When I finally get my air conditioner set up, maybe I'll be able to do something. But for now, I'm kind of melting while I work on models.
I'm proud of you. We have central air, by the way.
Damn.
Yeah, hey, we got a
So
spare
you're
room,
inviting
too.
Oni over, huh? That's
Yeah,
fair.
I mean, what? Hey, if you can, I mean, anytime, dog. Room's open.
I
Not
need my-
invited because they stole all of our baked goods. It's Shy.
Well, I mean, once you have all the baked goods, I mean, what's left? Anyways, hi, I am Shy. I am a ninja girl and who likes to play video games. You might know me from playing stuff like Final Fantasy 14, where I'm trying to do everything Stardew Valley, which is a really nice casual game that I think Chaos ought to pick up sometime and just have fun with. And still looking for that third project. I have a couple of things lined up. It's just a matter of finding the get up and go that's got up and went. You can catch me here on most Monday nights doing voice acting and with Lon when she goes live.
Last but not least, if you look up the word enabler in the dictionary, there's a picture of this borderline criminal. It's Lania.
I'm not a criminal.
Allegedly.
I'm just abet criminal activity. Hi. I am Lania. For legal reasons, that was a joke. And the house that I'm looking at has central air too. The condenser is held down by a cinder block, but you know, it's there. I have been really struggling lately, like, just to get time. And, so I will stream when life allows it. Otherwise, you can catch me here on Saturdays, but I doubt this Saturday, for Nightingale, and right here is Trucy Right!
Yeah, I doubt it as well. But hey, that's what you should join the Discord for if you haven't. But honestly, I doubt it. Hello! I'm not praising your restraint. That's like enabling.
Oh yeah, and we decided
Wow,
that's
wow,
my
you
thing.
out here proving my points.
No.
Anyway, once we last left off, we were back in the courtroom with our favorite iteration of Chrissy, Russell.
I visited the studio around 9 p.m. that night to do the interview. The first outsider to enter the Altier, journalistic history made, end quote. His daughter brought us coffee right after we started. And you know what happened next? Star falls, end quote.
This dude gives journalism a bad name, Lon. You should be deeply offended.
I am, except I totally know people like him.
No one else entered the room beside her the whole time.
What if mini memoism was done by a person with a toothbrush haircut? Yeah. That does sound like a simple case. Unless you were the one who poisoned him.
I mean, probably, but it's still going to take us 7 hours to prove it.
What are you saying, Judge?
Ahem. Need I remind you, the cameras are rolling today. I felt the need to be a bit dramatic.
You didn't do it, did you?
You do something like that? Come on, that's like newsmaker making the news, end quote. Or even contemporary witch-hunt, end quote.
Says the man flashing gang signs.
It's just the left-hand rule. I know, wild accusations rock courtroom, end quote.
Rock indeed.
Prosecutor Gavin sure looks like he's having fun.
I'm so happy for him.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Your cross-examination, please.
I visited the studio around 9 p.m. that night to do the interview.
True.
The first outsider to enter the Altier, journalistic history made, end quote.
True.
His daughter brought us coffee right after we started.
Oops. Would you mind being a little bit more specific?
Well, let me tell you, I enjoy a cuppa. In fact, it all began when I was in 3rd grade. No, wait, 4th grade.
That's not what I meant.
I believe I know what Air Forehead is driving at. This coffee the victim was served. Did anyone other than the defendant touch it?
Right. That. That's what I was going to say, really.
Well, now, if you've got a question to ask, you better be straight up and ask it. That's why I tell all the new recruits several times, if necessary.
Let me remind you that he is a freelancer, so his talking to new recruits is not real.
Right for a grade schooler, that's my motto.
That. Who touched the coffee?
Dunno. I was in the back looking at the studio's equipment when she served it.
And what happened next?
And do you know what happened next? Star Falls, end quote.
I don't. Please explain. What's this about a star falling?
Star Falls, huh? It's like an old telegram. Stop. Send money over.
Is that what you don't know? That's like journalism code word. An important personage passes away. So a star falls. Got it?
There's no gravity in space, is there?
Yes. Yes, there is.
I wouldn't think stars could fall, really.
Does this matter?
Oh boy, this is good stuff. Good stuff.
What, the Colombian fingerprint powder?
How about star breaks? Lex punch. I know, star dies. Lex imagination. Of course, you could go straight up with Drew dies, straight to the point. I like it.
I think we need to hear about something a little bit more substantial. Mr. Brushel, you said Mr. Misham had the coffee too? Did you actually see him drink the coffee?
Of course. He who sees it wins, but he who says it wins bigger. End quote. I live in a man sees dog eat dog and writes about it world yet.
Yet?
I guess I can't say I saw him drink it, really. He had one so-called sip, if that. Man put lips to mug, drinks, end quote.
That poison is quite virulent, I hear.
My stomach did a so-called somersault. Since I'd gulped down that coffee without so much as a second glance at it. Wait, maybe something's there. Some kind of so-called trick. Anyone want to venture a guess for the record?
Does this guy have a pause button?
Well, Mr. Justice, did you find that testimony valuable?
Yes, and also unfortunate that the entire pot of coffee wasn't poisoned. The victim drank his coffee and then immediately fell over.
Oh, yes, you can go to press with that one.
Your Honor, this is a vital piece of information. Please add it to the testimony.
Very well. The witness shall add this to this testimony.
Vital, right? He had one sip, if that. The next moment, he was on the floor.
You know what I have a problem with? A particular property of the poison used, atroquinine.
Oh, Prosecutor Gavin was quite clear about the poison. A lethal dosage of 0.002 milligrams paralyzes the central nervous system.
Why didn't they just say like 2 micrograms?
Micro these grams. Got 'em.
I looked at some cinnamon toast crunch and sugar grams. I didn't buy them though.
If you drank that, even you, Mr. Justice, would be reduced to a quivering pile.
Why are you using me as an example? Anyway, unfortunately, we weren't told everything. There was a vital omission in Prosecutor Gavin's information.
An omission.
Atroquinine is as virulent as he says. But that doesn't come upon ingestion, not immediately. That's because atroquinine is slow acting.
Slow acting?
According to one forensic scientist.
One forensic scientist.
Yeah, one forensic scientist.
It's one of the most virulent poisons, but is absorbed into the body astonishingly slowly.
We should have clarified. One is one scientist that remembered to unmute their microphone.
It takes at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion for adverse effects to show.
If we suppose that the moment Mr. Misham sipped his coffee was when he sealed his fate, then he would still have had time left to enjoy his last cup of joe.
Order! Order! What's the meaning of this? If what the defense says is correct, why, that contradicts the entire testimony we've just heard.
Well, Mr. Russell, anything to say? On the record?
So acting. So acting. It was virulent, all right? But even then, it had already begun digging his claws into the journalist.
He's working on his scoop.
It's Brushel, yeah? Brushel. Let's take a trip back down memory lane.
Airbrushel.
Huh? As long as it's a quick one.
Did the victim really die the instant he took a sip? Think it over. This is vital.
You know what I think? I think that was a not so subliminal suggestion. End quote.
I admit, it does cause a problem if he died when you say he died. I would be forced to say auf Wiedersehen to my simple case. And you would be forced to say farewell to your article.
Holy shit! Witness
my God.
intimidation
Yeah.
from the person who called the witness.
Can't write a story based on conjecture, can you? And as the case drags on, other reporters will pick up the scent. And you'll be forced to kiss your exclusive scoop goodbye.
Scoop. Look, wait, just wait a second. Just 1 second.
We're waiting. Out with it.
I think I just recalled a so-called important detail. A revival of recollection, end quote. A story of survival, end quote.
Attorney utterly confused, end quote.
Actually, I did notice something when I visited the studio. I'd heard of poison that tasted at sweet time, see? Yeah, see?
But now, not what I've been saying for the last few minutes, apparently.
Mr. Brushel, are you saying you noticed something that explains what happened?
You bet I am. The antidote for a poisonous contradiction, end quote, you might say.
Or, I still have no idea what you're talking about, end quote, I might say.
Point, comma, get to the damn.
I figured it out, but only after an in-depth interview. See, thanks to my journalism skills, I know who poisoned that coffee.
Objection, speculation.
Objection, not enough cocaine.
Order, order! Bring this man some more cocaine.
As far as I can tell, the witness is standing by his testimony. That Mr. Misham died the instant after he drank.
Of course I'm standing by my testimony. And my dream of exclusive rights to this story.
I suppose it was too much to hope for.
What was?
Of course he wouldn't choose a simple case. Not him. Phoenix Wright. Who else?
Hmm?
Tongue, Herr Bushel. Report for us, if you would. What is it that you noticed?
This court is a critical trial of the jurist system. I'm afraid no room for doubt is permissible. You will testify to the court about what you noticed.
Notice this, Pants Crab.
Hold on, let me get my microscope.
When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Misham was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. I thought nothing of it at the time, of course. Now that I think about it, what if he was writing a suicide note?
Jeez. A unalive note.
Yes, he had this look on his face. Man's face inscrutable as a quadratic equation, end quote.
Self-unaliving? Poor Mr. Misham. But that means Fear is innocent.
Would someone commit unalive in the middle of an interview?
Very well, you may begin your cross-examination.
When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Misham was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope.
So, he put the letter away when he saw you?
Early reporter gets warm, end quote. That's my secret.
I'm not sure I follow?
It's the night of the interview. I arrive 15 minutes ahead of schedule. The handle turns, the door opens, and I barge in.
Are you sure that's okay to do? I mean, isn't that unlawful entry? Really?
Mr. Misher seemed to think so. You should have seen him. He crammed his letter into that yellow envelope as fast as he could. I know a secret when I spot one, and that was one.
It does seem significant. Well, Mr. Justice?
I wonder. It does have the ring of something important. The testimony finds... The defense finds this testimony vital, Your Honor.
Very well. Please add it to the testimony then.
Hey, why not? My account comes free of charge. It was a yellow envelope. I heard it was left at the scene of the crime.
No, it was not yellow. It's very red, in fact. As it just so happens, there was a single letter in the desk drawer at the scene. In a red envelope. Prosecutor Gavin, is your witness colorblind?
What? What?
Was a yellow envelope found at the scene of the crime?
Unfortunately, no. But, Herr Forehand, it's easy to mistake a color of the envelope, even though red and yellow are completely different colors.
Well, I mean, I guess, but not this envelope. You see, it was postmarked already, 7 years ago.
Well, Mr. Brushel?
I can explain that. True, right? He wanted to get that letter in and out of the envelope pronto. Get it out of sight and out of my beady eyes, right? So he grabbed the nearest envelope and crammed away.
And what about the whole red and yellow envelope contradiction there, chump?
Well, Mr. Justice, have you anything to say to the witness's claim?
That night, the victim put a letter he had been writing in a red envelope. No, that's impossible.
Huh. I like your expression. So full of confidence.
Well, it's simple, really. As it just so happens, the defense team investigated the contents of this envelope with the assistance of a forensic scientist.
What?
Yeah, anyway, know that this letter is addressed to Drew Misham? Somewhere in California?
Oh,
Why would he address a letter to himself? There is actually one reason.
copyright.
Correct. Let alone send a Sudoku note to himself.
Order! Order! Mr. Brushel, can you explain this to the...
Oh, my, how could I have forgotten? I suppose this happens to the best of us. Reporter gets old, forget slots, end quote.
Is that what happens?
I'm still waiting for an explanation.
Well, that's the thing. See, after he put his letter in that envelope, Mr. Mitchum sat there at his desk drawer searching for something.
His desk drawer?
Yes, a stamp, so-called postage stamp, end quote.
A stamp. Whatever.
Well, to mail his letter, what else? And when, right, yes, I think you saw him put the letter in the box. Yes, it was a yellow envelope, and he put it in that box. Oh, wow, I wish it did.
You're gonna have to go back.
It's one of those auto advance things.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Just think that for a suicide note, what a story. Star wrote suicide note in front of reporter. False, end quote.
Ahem. As I was saying, that has nothing to do with this game. That said,
Yeah, Your Honor?
it makes me wonder about the contents of that red envelope. $100,000 is quite a good deal of money.
So, this was from 7 years ago, yeah?
So, am I finished here? Am I finished here? I was just thinking of, going home and start writing.
I hate to state what should be pretty obvious to anyone, but when you catch the scent of a story, you make that, rather unique face.
Come on. Attorney has active imagination, little else, end quote.
Guess I got more hair than you, bro.
Even I noticed something, and my eyes aren't what they used to be. You know, I'm starting to understand what all this perceiving stuff is about.
Judge has active imagination, end quote.
Please continue with your
I'm content
testimony.
just voicing the main character. I have way more than enough lines.
Tell us about the scent of a story.
It's like a scent of a... but like before fish sucked.
Hey, I'm the one asking questions here, usually.
Did he just brush his tongue and then his glasses?
He's brushing his glasses with his toothbrush.
Oh
You didn't
my
notice
god,
that he was pulling on his tie the whole time?
this man is a absolute psychopath.
Correct.
You seem to like that word, end quote. Actually, it took a bit of work to get a thumbs up on the interview. Reporter leveraged his story, get his interview, end quote. The story concerned a certain case from 7 years ago. That red envelope probably had something to do with it. Say what you will, but Drew's talent was without compare.
So you threatened to go to press with this story. That's how you got your interview? Blackmail?
Well, yes. I mean, no.
That's it. Throw him in the river.
It wasn't exactly black. I mean, I'm not.
Something wrong, Mr. Brushel?
Look. This is my story, my tidbit. Journalist info is livelihood. End quote.
I see.
Well, you got me chatting away here. What's going on out there? What if some Wally Woodsmith sailor or Sally Scooper gets wind of my story? They could be going to press while I'm going to waste.
This man does way too many drugs.
That's how it works, right, Lonnie?
Yes.
The
Haste
court,
makes waste.
The court feels your, pain, Mr. Brushel. Let's pick up the pace.
Fuck you, I'm taking my sweet old time, you dingy old fuck. That certain case 7 years ago. Wait, 7 years ago?
Hmm? Hmm?
Tracy, you were like 2.
Your math sucks.
Actually, it took a bit of work to get a thumbs up on the interview. Reporter delivers story, gets his interview, end quote. The story concerned a certain case from 7 years ago. That brand envelope probably had something to do with it. Say what you will, but Drew's talent was without compare.
Alright.
You have nothing on me, old man.
What the hell was that? My man just what? Bruh.
That sweat is gross.
Yeah. Alright. Just came blasting out of there.
Yeah, the fact that it just erupts, that's the gross part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you sweat much, Mr. Brushel?
Yeah, well, I mean, can't help his glance, you know.
You should go see an endocrinologist.
I hated saying that.
You know, it's more than that. When Mr. Misham's talent was mentioned, you suddenly began to sweat buckets. You're hiding something about his talent.
What? That's ridiculous.
Evidence time. Let's show where Mr. Misham's true talent lay. It just so happens I have evidence showing the talent mentioned in that letter. Oh yeah, this one. This painting was found in Mr. Misham's studio. There are 2 problems with this painting. The first is that it wasn't painted by Mr. Misham. And the second is that there was another painting in the studio, which looked exactly like this one. Except it was only half done. Well, then we have a letter discussing a payment of $100,000, which suggests a certain business operation. The business of making forgeries.
Ah! What the?
My man fucking hit that GTA wasted screen. That's all, Your Honor.
Everyone, please, everyone. Can we keep this private, please? This is my story, my scoop.
Fuck off.
Forgery. That's a serious crime.
Drew Misham is known as an artist these days. Or was. But there were rumors he dabbled in another kind of art a few years back.
Another art meaning forgery?
Drew Misham was talented, right? Talented at making precise, detailed fakes. The fact certain criminal elements were quick to discover.
Criminal elements? What? You can't seriously be talking about.
Exactly, I'm talking about forging evidence. The rumor started circulating 7 years ago.
"7 years ago." So we'd understand that this letter, this payment of $100,000 was for.
Exactly. Forged evidence, net tidy profit, end quote.
Order! Order! Why, it's like our victim was living a double life.
Aha! So this is my chance. So the victim had ties to the criminal world, right? He could have had plenty of enemies we know nothing about.
This is my first time hearing of this criminal world. We certainly found no criminal connections when we conducted our investigation.
Yeah, but you couldn't find your own ass with 2 hands, a search warrant, and a flashlight. And how do you explain all this money? You have to admit, there's a possibility of some illegal activity here.
I don't have to admit shit. There's no proof tying this letter to our case. Our case was and remains simple from the beginning. Only the defendant could have poisoned that mug that night.
And you, of course.
And
sorry.
you, of course.
Hey, the only thing I poison is my pen when I'm writing interviews.
You take your notes on your arm.
Huh?
Mr. Brushel, your testimony to this point has been quite unreliable. It doesn't speak well of your reporting acumen.
What are you talking about? My red journalism is rock solid. Journalism so solid you can stand an elephant on it. End quote.
The man likes steppies. Cubs. Angel Hernandez is fucking retiring tomorrow.
Thanks, I hate it. In any case, let's hear a summarized recap of your testimony. If we can ascertain the situation in that studio from the recap, the trial is over.
Hello? What's he talking about?
The cross-examination showed Mr. Brushel didn't have a reason or means to poison him. As long as there's no other suspects, then the killer had to be Vera. That's what. This next testimony is our last chance.
Mr. Brushel, your testimony, please.
Really? Who initially broke that? Because I'm interested. Was that before or after the fucking horrendous calls?
The only person in the studio that night was the defendant. It was Vera who poured the coffee. She admitted as much herself. The only thing that touched Drew's lips during the interview was that mug. And nothing left that studio after he died. Nothing. Clearly, the only one who could have poisoned him was his daughter.
A nice testimony. Clear, succinct, and without room for
Interesting.
doubt.
Huh. So they've been negotiating for 3 weeks?
shucks, you really think so?
Interesting.
I believe this clarifies the situation that night.
Wait, why would he even need to negotiate if he's fucking retiring? You just fucking leave. That's weird.
Very well, Mr. Justice. You may begin your final cross-examination.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I still have 1 trump card left to play. And I won't let this trial end until I use it. Was that his, like, shit game or shortly thereafter? Oh, fuck, you're right.
The only person in the studio that night was the defendant. It was Vera who poured the coffee. She admitted much herself. The only thing that touched Drew's lips during that interview were the mug. And nothing left the studio that night after he died. Nothing.
Yeah, Brushroll? Are you sure about that? Not one thing? You sure?
Yep, sure as can be.
Okay.
Well, with one exception.
One exception? What?
Colonel Spark Brusher does interview, leave studio, end quote.
You're an idiot.
Come on. It's a joke, get it? Not funny, I know, but still.
Did someone leave the studio that night? That is gorgeous, and I love it. Why does that sound familiar? Where have I heard something like that before? If only I had been paying attention about 42 minutes and 11 seconds ago.
Now that we've proven the witness is a comedian of
Eureka.
sorts, I'd like to turn it to our defense attorney before returning to the testimony. Do you have any idea what, if anything, might have been left in the studio that night?
Yeah. I think one thing might very well have left the studio that night, actually. A certain something that has vanished from the crime scene.
By which you mean something other than the witness?
Of course.
Don't tell me. Vera Misham.
Believe me, any comic relief I may provide is entirely unintentional.
Then let's see what you've got for us, Mr. Justice.
Well, this thing wasn't at the scene of the crime, so I can't show it to you. But I do have evidence that shows it could have been taken from the scene. These nuts! We were just talking about this yellow envelope going in the mailbox. No? No? You already forgot that, Brushel? You dumb fucking sack of shit? Anyway, this is the only link between that studio and the outside world.
A letterbox?
How was your day? What did Mr. Russell just tell us? When he entered the studio on the night of the murder, 15 minutes early, just barging in, the victim had just finished writing a letter.
Yeah, I said that, and yeah, it was true.
But furthermore, you went on to tell us that he put that letter in a yellow envelope and put it in the letterbox.
Ah,
But that very same letterbox was empty. In other words, that night, the yellow envelope disappeared.
Ah, yes, intriguing. So an envelope has disappeared from the scene of the crime. Of course, this changes nothing.
Hmm?
he has a point, Mr. Justice. What we're trying to find out here is how
Nice.
the
I'm glad you
poison
had a
got
good time.
into Mr. Measham. Is it really important that this envelope the witness says he saw disappear?
That's me. Well, if it did disappear, then something did leave the studio that night. That seems very important to me.
Very well, then. The witness will add this to his testimony.
You got it.
I still think this fails to change anything, Forehead.
You know, I wouldn't be so sure. And to be honest, your opinion doesn't matter. A letter disappeared from the crime scene that. This is exactly the opening I've been looking for. As I bash my controller off my fucking meaty schmeat.
The letter was put in the post from the studio, but I hardly think that matters.
Okay, well, nothing could be more serious than an envelope disappearing from that studio. And you were hiding that fact from us.
Yes, actually.
I don't argue the possibility that a letter disappeared from that studio. But Forehead, isn't there a much more serious question before us?
Right. How Mr. Mission was poisoned, I know. But Mr. Brushell's testimony changed, which means the facts of the case have too. And what he's told us means something entirely different now, I'm starting to think.
Let's keep thinking, Apollo.
Well, I mean, like, the facts didn't change. The facts are objectively the facts. It's just... yeah, alright, whatever.
Clearly, the only one who could have poisoned him was his daughter. The letter was put in the post from the studio, but I hardly think that matters. The only thing that touched your lips during the interview was that mug.
Okay, no. Are you sure about that?
Well, to be really, really precise, I was busily gobbling mint candies the whole time.
Yeah? Is that what you kids call them these days?
Gobbling them mint candies.
One of those candies might have been poisoned.
Yet, at the time of the autopsy, no fresh fragrance of mint filled the room. And no mint residue was found.
See, it's even in quotation marks. Fuck, it was a long shot anyway.
Don't tell me you're still trying to prove this. You think the victim ate, drank, or otherwise ingested something other than coffee?
Well, Mr. Justice, if you have some proof.
Well, the possibility is there. I can feel it. Just maybe not prove it. Not yet. And possibility isn't going to cut it. It's not like I'm the prosecution where I can just say a bunch of bullshit and everyone believes it. Mr. Misham ingested that poison via a route other than coffee, and I can prove it because I'm a psychic.
You do understand what we need, yeah?
Yeah, I need you to play that pentatonic scale, but in minor with a sustain on the 7th. Please and thank you. Can you do
Nah,
that?
Is that because every
good.
day he has the blues?
Yes.
Proof, Fat Forehead, not possibilities.
Yeah, of course. Hey, and Prosecutor Gavin, I hope you understand. I'm ready to give you that proof.
What did you just say?
I'm ready to give you proof. Did you understand?
What the fuck did you just say?
You cut out, actually.
Yeah, I have proof of the disappearing envelope.
I saw him writing a letter. I did.
Which was picked up
That was
by
the joke,
mailman,
Dan.
I assume.
Also, of course, which means that envelope had a stamp on it. Go ahead, Sharky. It's just doing its thing.
I missed it.
A stamp?
Go on.
As we all know, stamps come with dried glue on the back. And in order to use the glue, you have to wet it by licking the stamp.
No one worth talking to actually licks stamps in this day and age.
I mean, yeah, they're all self-adhesive, I guess. Well, even if you wanted to talk to him, you couldn't. He's dead after all.
Yo, say that joke again, I dare you.
What joke?
Fucking... I was going off of what Apollo said.
Oh.
Okay, so he licked the stamp. But wait,
There's more?
how does that explain the actual quinine on the rim of the coffee mug?
Well, if he licked the back of a poison stamp, the poison would get on his tongue, yeah? What would happen if he then put a coffee mug to his mouth, huh?
Oh,
Those traces on the mug weren't the killer's doing. It was the other way around.
What?
The coffee mug didn't poison Mr. Misham. Mr. Misham poisoned the coffee mug himself.
damn, he must have been licking the shit out of that stamp.
That doesn't... Does it?
Well, recall if you would. Atraquinine is a slow-acting poison, yeah? The poison entered his body when he put the stamp on the envelope. But his time wasn't up until the very moment he touched his lips to the cup of jet.
You have something to add, Mr. Brushel?
Uh-oh. His nose is picking up another scent.
As I believe I mentioned earlier.
Goodbye, Jim.
Well, that's the thing. See, after he put his letter in the envelope, well, Mr. Mishram sat there searching his desk drawer for something. Yes, a stamp, a so-called postage stamp, end quote. But I don't seem to remember ever finding one.
Maybe he just ran out.
Incidentally, we searched the desk drawer at the scene of the crime. There were no stamps, not a single one.
Hmm.
That does pose a problem. How will you prove that the stamp was coated with poison?
Well, actually, I'm glad no other stamps were found. That makes proving the stamp you used was poisoned possible.
Good show, good show. You can't even prove there was a stamp at the scene in the first place.
Well, let's see what the defense has to say anyway.
Where's my evidence? Right there, baby!
Well, that certainly is a cute little frame. And by little, I mean really little.
I, I, it's a. I just got out of the pool. Well, it was on the victim's desk, Your Honor. I mean, quite empty, as you can see for yourself.
I noticed that too during my inspection, but so what?
Ah, apparently you weren't as observant as you should have been. You see, when you saw this frame, it was missing something quite important.
Missing something?
Ah, yes. A pale bluish stain on the inside of the frame. Atroquinine residue.
What? Why wasn't I told about this?
The frame is only 2 inches square, and the face of the frame is even smaller, maybe an inch wide at most.
You aren't saying.
Well, but I am. Tell me, what fits in such a small frame, besides your competence? A commemorative stamp, perhaps?
Order! For like the 8th time in the last 20 minutes. The poison stamp was in this frame?
Impossible!
Prosecutor Gavin.
Why would he put something like that on his desk? Don't tell me he had it there so he can commit unalive if the mood struck.
I mean, it's like Deus Ex. Everyone has a gun with 1 bullet in their desk.
Can I say something? I had a thought, see?
Objection. Stop jittering around. What?
The victim was a forger, right? There's a lot of money in that line of work. Forger forges friends, makes enemies too, end quote.
So the poison stamp might have been a murder weapon aimed at him?
Oh, rich. That's rich. Leave the ridiculous flights of fancy to the Gaviner's song lyrics, please.
Finally, something we agree on.
I finally just realized Clavier is left-handed.
Yep.
The stamp was a murder weapon. Nonsense.
Also, the pentatonic scale doesn't have a 7th in it. You're welcome. Music theory.
Yes, it does.
Shouldn't be 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8.
There's no 8 in a scale.
Minus the 8. 1, 2. There's pentatonic.
1,
Am
3,
I-
4, 5, 7.
Oh,
Usually a minor 7th.
yes. Thank you. Thank you. What the fuck am I
You're
thinking of? Am I thinking Mixolydian? Anyway.
Murder's a simple business. Who would go to such lengths? No one.
Oh, I disagree.
Come again? Come on, man. I just want to go home.
Well, you're the one that brought this case. I'm to suffer. Recall, if you would, the victim's reclusive lifestyle. Drew Misham hid from the world. He avoided meetings. His only contact with the outside world was the mail.
The mail.
Now, if you wanted to kill someone you couldn't meet, but you knew read letters, a stamp would be a pretty good weapon, or anthrax.
Ridiculous. Where's your proof? I want proof. Show us evidence that this poison stamp was sent to him as a murder weapon.
I might not have evidence, per se, but things are finally starting to come together.
What is it, Apollo?
Gotta poop.
Oh. Your fists are trembling. It must be a big one.
Really gotta poop. I think I know what happened. I don't believe it, but I can see it? I think I know how Mr. Mission was killed.
Fill us in, Mr. Justice.
Well, a certain piece of evidence points to the truth, Your Honor. I can show you how someone with the intent to kill sent Mr. Misham the stamp of death. Probably the envelope?
Isn't this the envelope? The one from 7 years ago?
Oh, think about the text of the letter again. There were 2 pages in the envelope. This is page 1. And this is page 2. They sent him a stamp. It's very convenient. I want to draw your attention to the one phrase in particular. Send nudes in the enclosed envelope with the stamp within 3 days. The enclosed stamp, Your Honor.
Ah!
In other words, if I have this straight, the stamp, poison, on the stamp, click, 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 gasp, end quote.
Great technique for cunnilingus, by the way. Lick, 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 gasp.
On the
No.
stamp.
Right on the stamp. Now, what if he had done exactly as the letter asked?
He would sign the document, put it in the envelope, and put the stamp on it, right? Then he would put it in this letterbox.
15 minutes wouldn't have elapsed between affixing the stamp and mailing the letter. But the clock started ticking, and when the time came, he drew his last breath. And the murder weapon would be taken away from the scene.
Quite conveniently, thanks to the postal system.
Such a splendid imagination you have there, Forehead. Let me confirm one thing with you, if I might. So this poison stamp was inside this envelope from 7 years ago? Yeah? Is that what you'd have us believe? Really?
Well,
It's a little bit of a stretch, but there's a possibility.
Yes, a very small possibility. How small, I wonder?
enough to prove reasonable doubt, which is literally all I have to do.
A poison stamp in this envelope. A stamp that then became the murder weapon? How do you intend to improve this seeming coincidence?
Well,
It was 7 years ago, and we don't even know who sent that letter.
And your answer is silence. I see. Very well. I move to.
Shy.
It's not nice to pick on the Fraulein, Clavier.
Huh?
I don't know if this. Oh.
Oh shit. Oh wait, what? Huh?
okay. Sure. Drugs be hitting different this time, but
Bro, I am tweaking. Okay, was that just like an animation error, or like what the fuck was that? Oh, hey Emma, that was fucking weird.
Well, like my Christoph Galvin impression? Did I sound like him?
Why would you want to sound? You know what? Yeah, sure, it was great. Don't quit your day job.
Don't you have a crime scene to be looking after, Fraulein Detective?
Someone had to come dig you all out of the mess you're making of this case.
Mess?
You know, none of this would have happened if you just trusted in science a little more.
You wanted me to boof the fingerprint powder. You called me your little baby mule.
I mean, you did put
I
on the
mean-
collar.
and you were making the sounds, Apollo.
You can find out if that stamp was in that envelope easy.
Care to explain yourself, Fraulein Detective?
Glare at me all you want, but science is on my side. It's all in the residue, right?
You know, that's right. The poison detection spray.
Produce the red envelope at once.
It's a red letter day, Gordon. Oni, you old enough to get that reference?
I don't fucking know anymore, dude.
You can open it on the authority of the court.
Half-Life 2.
Never played it.
I have to spray all over the screen.
Look, this is a
Hey.
vehicle. Oh hey,
Oh, hey! Yes, I would like to
this
examine
is a
it.
vehicle for the DS. Of course, you have to spray all over the screen.
Well, would you look at that?
No mistaking it. That's atroquinine residue.
Is she wearing capris?
Yeah.
I can't believe them pants. A murder
Tupperware?
weapon from the past. Now, 7 years later, it bears its fangs at last.
Absolutely outrageous. Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a heartache.
That was the line. I'm tired of that shit.
Tell me why.
All right, all right. Why didn't this murder take place 7 years ago?
Well,
There's one possibility.
Backstreet Boys.
Maybe Mr. Mission figured it out.
Figured what out?
He realized that the person who sent that letter wanted him dead. So he sent his reply with a different stamp.
And put his decisive evidence in a frame.
and then just magically forgot.
You're still here?
Can I make a statement here on the record?
No.
I, Spark Razor Toothbrusher, claim this scoop is mine.
Bro, shut up.
Drew Misham killed in cold blood. By sender of 7-year-old litter, end quote. No, maybe something worse to think. Just star falls after 7-year delay, end quote.
Order, damn it. I see no room for further argument here. Though I admit this is all coming as quite shocking. To think that the murder weapon reached his mouth after 7 years. Stamp is ticketed straight to afterlife. End quote.
Uh-oh. I think the witness is a bad influence on our judge.
I see no need for further debate on this matter. The sender of that letter 7 years ago could hardly have been our defendant.
Apollo?
Yeah, I think we
Did
just
we win?
won.
Very well.
How?
This court finds the defendant.
Oh my god. No, you're not allowed to object. You used all of yours.
Is this the bright future of our legal system?
Prosecutor Gavin?
A ticket to the afterlife from 7 years ago. Tickets for Gaviner's shows are invalid after 2 weeks.
But it doesn't make sense any other way.
It boggles my mind that so many people haven't noticed this. Fatal contradiction in our forehead's claim.
Contradiction?
A poison stamp was placed in this envelope 7 years ago. Whereupon it was framed until now. If that's the case, then why would Drew Misham have done what he did?
Emma realized that, or Emma explained that. He must have realized it was poisoned.
Therein lies the rub. 7 years ago, the forger Drew Misham sensed a trap and put the stamp in a frame. I do not debate this, but this begs the question. Why, 7 years later, did he use that stamp on the night of the murder?
Can I direct your attention to the witness stand?
No, I don't want to look at that guy. He's creepy.
There you go.
Accurate.
It's pretty true to me.
Surely you don't mean to suggest that Mr. Misham simply forgot.
I mean, that's also a possibility. Humans are known for their fucking stupidity.
He put the murder weapon in a frame on his desk for 7 years? And forgot? You expect us to believe that bullshit?
Listen, all you said was reasonable doubt. You didn't tell me to spell it out for you.
Well, I admit this is all quite shocking myself. It does seem highly unlikely that it would fall afoul of a trap. Caw-caw! That he had been sitting on his desk for 7 years.
Apollo?
I don't think we're winning anymore, Trucy.
I'm glad to see we're all back in the real world now.
Yeah, thanks, Neo.
Welcome back to reality. We've been waiting for you.
Oh, there goes gravity.
Oh, there goes Rabbit.
But not Dr. Dre. Well, okay, then how do you explain the poison stamp that was in this envelope?
The poison stamp? What exactly is this poison stamp again? Have you brought it to court for us? I see no proof that such a thing ever existed.
Oh, there's just poison residue on this very, very tiny frame for no fucking reason then. All right, good argument.
That matches the poison residue on the letter.
Well, what about the atraquinine residue, huh?
Oh, I agree. That does seem to be atraquinine residue. But, Forehead, it's certainly no stamp.
Yeah, but
Even if your precious poison stamp did exist, Drew Misham never would have used it. That is all.
I believe we've come to a conclusion. Again.
Apollo? Were we wrong the whole time?
you know what? I refuse to believe it. I think we're being fucking jerked around. The poison traces match up. It can't be a coincidence.
I'd like to bring some closure to this issue sometime this year. Mr. Justice,
No, I'm sorry, Judge. Are you objecting to my client's right to a fair and expedient trial?
always.
Yeah, that tracks for you.
This is Japanifornia after all.
Yeah. What do you got? Massage at Robert Kraft's massage parlor?
Oh!
Oh!
Wrong coast, sir. This
Yeah?
is not Boston. Let's review the facts, and only the facts, and see where we stand. 7 years ago, Drew Misham received a red envelope.
A scarlet letter, if you will.
There
See,
were
that's why it's
traces of
red.
the poison atroquinine on the document inside that envelope. A similar trace was also found at the crime scene. On this tiny picture frame. The defense has indicated the possibility of a yellow envelope. An envelope that left the scene of the crime with the poison stamp on it.
Yes, but even if this envelope contained a poison stamp, and Drew Misham, knowing this, put it in her frame, he never would have used that stamp.
I'm afraid that's accurate. Which means there is a fatal flaw in the defense's case.
I haven't been on the wrong track this whole time. I'm sure of it. Traces of atraquinine, the envelope, the frame, and Drew Misham's mysterious death. They're all connected. Somehow.
Well, Mr. Justice, do you have a conclusion for us?
The defense stands by its case, Your Honor. We've seen that the logical outcome of the evidence makes no sense, which means that one of our clues must be a fake.
Ah, a fake clue? Fascinating. Now we find this fake. Your wild fantasies will prove quite reasonable, yeah?
The fake clue that's thrown us off is the poisoned trail. Is none other than... Who?
The victim was a fake clue? Nani?
Well, I'll explain. We have an envelope, a frame, and a mug linked by poison. That all makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the victim himself.
Congratulations. You've completely lost me.
God, I wish it were that easy.
So the fake evidence is none other than the master of fake himself, the forger? Makes a good story, I'll give you that.
The fake clue, fakes, forgeries. Yeah.
I know that face. That's the I just had an idea face.
No, I made boom boom.
Oh, that's the other time you make that face.
It could be both.
I'll alert the custodian.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm right, but I'm gonna go with it anyway.
Might as well.
What if our forger is the fake?
Come again?
I need like 5 minutes. Is that okay?
Get away from me.
Come to father. Well, 7 years ago, our forger sniffed a trap and stepped aside. 7 years passed, and now the forger stumbles into that very same trap and dies. Why?
That's what I want to know.
Because the forger who was killed wasn't the real forger.
Here we are again. The victim was a fake?
Mm-hmm. One forger smelled the trap. One forger fell into the trap. That's 2 forgers, and one of them was a fake.
Order!
So you're telling us that Drew Misham, the victim, was a fake? Well, if he was the fake, who was the real forger? You better not be claiming there was some kind of switcheroo.
I'm afraid you're going to have to back up your story. Mr. Justice, show us just who the real Drew Misham was.
If Drew Misham wasn't the real forger, there's only one other person it could have been. Understood, Your Honor. The forger Drew Misham himself was a forgery. The real forger was... There can only be one explanation, really. The real identity of the forger known as Drew Misham is none other than his only daughter, Vera Misham.
Order! For the 1000th time! Mr. Justice, this is going on a limb even for you.
I kinda agree. I mean, Vera, forger?
Well, hey, let's consider it before you both write it off entirely. I mean, if you look at the paintings in the studio, one fact becomes quite clear. Forgery had been taking place in that studio for quite some time. The forger wasn't caught in that trap 7 years ago. This can only mean that the one who was caught in the trap wasn't the forger.
Actually, that does make a certain kind of sense.
And one more thing. Only 2 sets of fingerprints were found in the forger's studio. Drew Misham's and Vera Misham's.
Uh-huh.
If we know that Drew Misham wasn't the forger, that leaves only one possibility by process of elimination. The forger was Vera Misham. Well, they really wanted the money out of that animation.
I think this is the second time in a row we've tried to get our client off of the charge of murder by blaming them for another crime.
Uh-huh.
Man, get off the stand. Go home.
Oh, thank God, it's finally not Brushel. Vera Misham?
Ellipses.
You been paying attention to the trial so far?
More ellipses.
Let's just ask her and be done with it, shall we? I'm hungry. Who are you? Who is the forger? Drew Misham?
She made boom boom.
Ellipses? More ellipses.
Was that an expression of emotion I saw on her face? She's staring holes into Prosecutor Gavin's face.
I'm used to be stared at by Frauleins, believe me. Though they usually talk to me too.
That's where the appeal ends.
Tell us, were you the one who forged those works of art?
Ellipses? Dra. Yes.
So the forger, Drew Misham, was you?
Dra. Yes, it was me.
What?
The court was in an uproar, and it wasn't coming down. Much like their hands, they just stayed there. We had to break for a 10-minute recess. Holy fuck, my arms are stuck like this.
The court was in an uproar, and yet every time we see the court, there are 5 whole people there.
I'm gonna pee.
That's just the judicial system. Have you ever noticed that you can't sound sober saying the words judicial system?
Same, I'm gonna go use the restroom.
That's the advantage of the judicial system.
One of us isn't on the joke, the other one runs like hell. Sounds about right.
The catboy you were trying to reach is not available at this time. Please leave your name and number, and we'll get back to you in the briefest amount of time possible.
By number, we mean social security number.
And the last 4 digits of your
hello!
credit card.
Welcome, friendos.
8,
How was your stream?
309.
Oh my god. Fez is such a tremendous game. But Kat, Arbor, it's good to see you, wonderful ladies. Hopefully you're all having a tremendous time. Yeah, I had to get up and go pee-pee. But yeah, Fez is such a wonderful game. I'm glad you're taking the time to play through it. I hope you two had a
October
lovely
8th,
time
1:24
at Limit Break.
p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 6. Okay. So, where exactly does this leave us, Apollo?
Well, the Drew Misham who was killed wasn't Drew Misham the forger, basically. We try.
Then, who was he?
Well, he was actually
Ellipses.
doing her nails. So you really made those forgeries?
Ellipses.
I'm-
Yes,
I'm so
for
glad.
father.
Yeah, like it seems like Limit Break went off really, really well and safely. Like super bummed
That
we couldn't
girl
make it,
needs therapy.
but we have to buy a house this week and move. So definitely not the right time to go to Limit Break. But I'm glad you all had a blast. Like I'm insanely happy for
I know
everyone.
what was wrong.
Would you tell us how it happened?
Ellipses. My father was a painter. I loved painting ever since I was a child. One day, father saw it in me. He saw that I had the talent.
Talent for making forgeries.
How should I say it? It was not only paintings I made. Given the materials, I could make anything. They called me the living open AI.
Anything?
Father was so proud, and I so happy. But in the end, I was making those.
Forgeries.
I've never had a good constitution nor personality.
Yeah, I would say they're both kind of like a piece of paper.
Oh, I see what you did.
Yeah, my jokes are on point tonight.
I know very little of the world outside my door. Now, because of me, Father is...
Do you know about this red envelope?
I remember that envelope. It was some time ago.
So you were already creating your works back then?
I started when I was only 12 years old.
Hmm. So the one who figured out the stamp was poison. That was
Mr. Justice, it's time. To the courtroom, please.
right. Out of time.
Wait, Vera, just one more thing, please. Those 3 paintings in the studio.
I painted those as part of my work.
Right, see, we checked them out, and we saw what was underneath.
We're telling your parents. Oh, oops.
Yes, Apollo, a great room to make dead dad jokes in. We saw the rough sketches underneath the 3 finished paintings.
Oh yeah.
A little fucked up.
I see. Ellipses.
That's it. I see. Thanks.
Mr. Justice,
Yeah?
Father, he knew of you.
That's weird.
Of both of you.
Even more weird.
No, not really.
Your late father?
He was watching, gathering information.
I'm stalked by old men all the time. I'm used to this.
All about the right and co law offices.
Well, technically, we're the anything offices now.
Yeah, the Right Anything Agency. We're not doing just law. We've rebranded.
You do tricks, gags to amuse, and play piano.
Well,
Yeah,
Phoenix isn't that good of a pianist, really.
and they're not really gags. They're
Yet when Father heard you had resumed the legal business, how pleased he was.
I like her overalls. They're pretty cute.
they are.
Tony, you want me to get you a pair?
No, I'm good. I can't pull them off.
What? Girl, please.
Who was Mr. Misham?
How am I supposed to know?
Well, if he was Daddy's daddy, or what if he was Daddy's daddy?
Ugh.
Judging. Oh, that's you.
Well, judging from the relative ages involved, yeah, I'd say it's highly unlikely. Things are already confusing enough with all these daddies running around. Ugh. God, now I have to say it. Ugh. We know that the victim's daughter, Vera, was the forger. What does this mean for the case? Man, shit, I don't fucking know. But I guess we're about to find out.
October 8th, 1:36 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 3.
Court is now back in session.
Ellipses.
Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails clean off.
Perhaps you could begin by telling us how it all worked. How did you set up this Drew Misham forger persona?
Ellipses. Ellipses.
Well, there's that blank stare again. She's drilling more holes into his head. I wish they were real.
I know it's hard for you, but hey, he's a handsome guy.
Yeah, and you're still 15.
Just as long as he's not using his mouth, you know,
Ch-
or
You know what? You know what? Yeah. Judge, this one over here. Yeah, her. Yep. Call the FBI. I don't even want to know what's hard, and I swear to God, if you answer me, I'm ending this stream.
Very well, Ness. If you would, did you really make all those forgeries?
Yeah, that's so mean. Leave my girl alone.
Perhaps you'd rather answer my question.
Leave Cottagecore Princess alone.
Were you the one who had that painting? The remarkably similar one?
Yes. I painted it, yes. Father praised me quite highly for it.
So, she was the one who made the forgeries.
Yet, she did not wish to reveal the truth of her operation. So the victim was a stand-in, a decoy. To the world at large, he was the forger, not her.
Ellipses. I've done a bad thing. I have, haven't I?
Regardless, we need a little bit more information.
Yes, you are a naughty, naughty girl.
About, for instance, this.
Hmm.
You've seen this before, yeah?
Yes, it was in the desk drawer.
Very well, you may proceed with your testimony. Tell us everything you know about the envelope.
Hey, at least it's not a photograph this time.
Look at this photograph.
I created things and Father sold them. This envelope came after my first work. That was other than a painting. Father handled the deal, all of it. I received the stamp that was in the envelope. It was after that job that we moved to the current studio.
Why wouldn't you just throw the stamp away?
There certainly was much of great interest in your testimony.
Not that the witness realizes it.
Very well, please begin the cross-examination.
Right. Okay. Cool. All right. Not my real dad. I need more information about this forger. This Drew Misham.
I created things and Father sold them.
Okay. So these things you were making, you mean paintings identical to other paintings, right?
The closer they were, the happier Father was. I was happy too.
Still, you're quite young now. When did you begin this work?
My first painting sold when I was 12.
Your Honor, she had no idea what she was doing was illegal.
Easy there, little attorney. You're not here to defend her for the crime of forgery.
True. Please tell us more about this envelope. This envelope that may very well have killed your father.
Right.
Luna.
This envelope came after my first work that was other than a painting.
Oh. By other than a painting, you mean you'd only done paintings up to that point?
Yes. But Father had a realization. He noticed my talent extended to making things other than paintings.
For instance?
For instance, a letter someone had written. Or a fingerprint left upon a cup. Or a signature on a document, a seal upon a letter.
None of this makes her sound very innocent at all.
And this 100,000 promised in this letter was the start? The beginning of a new industry for Drew Misham.
A new industry?
The creation of items to be used in criminal proceedings.
Yeah, by your D-bag brother.
Forging evidence, in other words.
Uh-oh. He didn't.
Father handled the deal, all of it. I received the stamp that was in an envelope.
What does that mean, you received it?
Did I do something wrong?
You didn't use that stamp because it was dangerous, correct? Like deadly poison on the back of it? Atroquinine?
A moment, Forehead.
Hmm?
You can't force an outer.
Hey!
Holy shit, are we getting a real objection?
You can't force an answer upon the witness. Leader.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's a valid
That's
objection.
a real objection.
That's the first
Good job,
one.
Ace Attorney. Good job.
Hold on. No, I don't have that. Oh, here we go. Yeah, you won't hear the music, but. Yippee! It's yippee, but jazz.
All right.
You know, kind of actually fitting now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Now then, perhaps you would tell me, Fräulein Vera, why did you receive this stamp?
Because your brother's a psychopath?
Guitar Man's scary.
Is something wrong?
It was beautiful.
You mean it was a commemorative stamp?
Yes, I think it was.
So, you didn't know about the poison?
Frowny face.
Well, shit, I guess not.
So the trap failed by chance? By mistake? Thanks to this commemorative stamp?
Quite the close call.
It was after that job that we moved to the current studio.
You mean you moved to where the current Drew studio is?
Yes, we saw very few people there. I began drawing picture books.
This single job had tied them to the criminal underworld. I'd think Mr. Mission wished to reduce their visibility in the world at large.
And we had to meet someone for some reason. Father Post is the creator of the work.
So that was the real essence of the artist Drew Misham. You did the work, but he supplied the face.
So you really didn't know anything, did you? You had no idea just how much danger you were in.
I knew nothing, Judge Snow.
Apparently not.
Okay, so about this commemorative stamp? Could you tell us more about it?
It was very pretty. And more than that,
Oh, like me. I know. Please, Vera. The stamp.
it was a picture of people I liked at the time.
Well, this is something new. That's not.
Apparently, we've got some cross-examination yet ahead of us. If you'll be so kind as to continue your testimony, Fräulein.
Ellipses. Mindy face. The stamp was the picture of my favorite magicians, so I kept it.
Kept it for next time, whenever that may be. It's time to go to bed, buckaroos. Love is real. Well, hey, progress. Progress is good. We made many advancements.
Things have changed.
I'm proud of you all. You did tremendous. All right, how do we want to do the extraductions tonight? Do we want to all yell our favorite Drew Tingle or Chuck Trink? Oh my fucking god, Chuck Tingle book all at once?
What?
You don't know about Chuck Tingle?
Oh,
I don't think we're going over this again. I remember now.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Those are very long book names.
Listen, don't let the fact that was it Surly who did that in Limit Break chat?
No, it
God.
was
No.
Graham.
Oh, it was Trip? Was it? Who was it? Wasn't Trip?
Treble Gremlin.
Oh yeah, it was Treble. Oh god, fun stories. Yeah, don't post your favorite Chuck Tingle book in the RPG Limit Break chat unprompted. It confuses people. But
Was
no,
it an
that
accidental copy paste or was it on purpose?
no,
yeah, it
he
was
just
accidental. You were there, Sharky, because
he just typed it in the wrong chat.
Oh right.
Yeah, what's
Jeez,
up,
that's been
Proxy?
forever
Good to see
ago.
you. Just in time to catch the wrap up. But all right, friendos, let's wrap this deal up. I do not. I would say plan that we won't be doing this next week because chances are I'll probably be fucking wrapping shit up at this apartment. Fingers fucking crossed. And get out of this hellhole forever.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on the
Are you going
crippling
to
debt.
flip the building off when you drive away?
Oh god, no. U-Haul trucks are expensive, and besides, my dad's job is to get them repaired. I don't want to make more work for my dad. He's fucking retiring. Oh, you said flip them off. I heard
Yeah.
clip the side of like clip the building off. Oh,
Yeah.
no, probably not. Not unless they want to fucking get into a legal battle, but I have fucking enough of that going on. Speaking of lawyer battles. Everyone gets really nervous. They call her Deep Throat. It's Lania.
You know, Lawyer Battles was definitely going to be the lead into me. Hi, I
Hello.
am Lania. I am also Prissy Wright. And I am here when we are here. Because I am... No, I'm not going to go into it. Hi! I was going to do that. I am here... No. So anyway, hi, I'm Lon, and I am really tired. It's a fucking week, let me tell you. When I get a chance, I will play a game. Who knows when that will be? Life is full of surprises. You can also catch me here when we do Nightingale, whenever that will be next. I tried the sickle and Oberon thing, and I got my 500 for the outfit. So.
Told you it works. I'm a genius.
Oh, yeah. It's great. That's all I got.
Speaking
Oh,
of
speak
yeah,
of
where?
each other. Speak of each other.
You got it?
Yeah, you know, I gotta
Okay.
hit the thing.
It's
Oh.
me. I'm the thing.
True.
Because
Speaking
you
of
stole the cookies.
Yes.
Speaking of geniuses, handsome and tired, it's Oni Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, it's difficult being a bad bitch.
Yeah, all three of those are correct statements.
True.
I realized partway through I had the fucking cup my hands together in the space behind my microphone to stop it from echoing so hard. Even though there was still echo, I tried my best.
Nah, I didn't have anything on my end, but I also run everything through like a bit of a cleanup.
I gotta fix this room so it doesn't do this to me.
Give me a call. I'll be down in the city in like a fucking week. I can help you with soundproofing.
But yeah, I'm running it by ear. If I do something, I do something. If not, I'm busy.
I appreciate you. Go get some rest, baby girl. Speaking of by the ears, rumor has it she likes a pair of bunny ears between her thighs. It's Shy.
That's not a rumor. That's a proven fact.
Hi, I am Shy. I am a ninja girl, and I'm probably blushing so hard you can see it through the monitor or the screen. Anyways, thanks for having me. It's always a blast. Definitely looking forward to next time. Hopefully, I'll have something going by then myself. But yeah.
Currently the only Florida man I know that has not been under investigation for any sort of felony or misdemeanor, Lil Sharky.
Not only that, but I'm a Mustang owner that hasn't hit any people with his car.
Yet.
It's been 18 years and you're still waiting for that punchline to drop.
I
That
am.
you know of.
That I know of.
Hey y'all, I'm Sharky. I've been around a long time. Take my energy and such if you're old enough to remember that reference. It's always fun getting to hang out with everybody. We will do this again whenever this Catboy moves, and sorry I can't just buy a plane ticket and help lug some boxes for you, bud.
Oh, it's fine. I ain't worried about it. I've been doing dick ups. I'll be real strong.
I mean, be careful, because you can usually only wrap your penis around one box and carry it at a time. If you double up, you might get hurt.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, tell your loved ones that you care. Make sure to call people that you need to. And yeah, don't forget to be awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Last but not least, the next victim on Who Wants to Buy a House and fucking swim in crippling amounts of debt, it's Chrisseries.
Yep.
Yep. How about them Seattle home prices?
Oh, fucking want to talk about it.
I fucking shit my ass out sideways. Look at that shit.
Hi, my name is Chris Rees. I lead the real estate group Blitz.
I wish they were helping me.
Christ.
Grunge house. Yeah, as long as it's not fucking Nirvana. One else that I was looking at though did have a really nice record player and a really nice set of floor monitors in the basement.
Were they Klipsch?
No, I didn't recognize the brand. But they were super huge.
I think I know which ones they are. Those things are fucking like $2-3 grand each.
They're like a fucking tank, and then they have one set of tweeter on top. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I know
very
which ones.
distinctive.
It's either Klipsch or I forget what those are, but they're like super fucking old and like super wiener audiophiles love them.
Yeah, it was a setup. Like the record player was instead of like the normal rubberized base, it was fucking burnished alumina. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Wait until you tell them that it doesn't make a lick of difference to the sound quality.
That was Void Cat House.
Oh, well then you should have got that one with the cat.
Yeah. Well, that was also the one with the Toto toilet in it, so like kind of tempting to be honest.
Mm-hmm. I'm there for it. Thank you for reminding me I need to buy another bidet.
Yeah, me too.
Woo. All right, wrap them up. Go on, say the line, Chrissy.
That was my outro.
Oh, okay then. I'll do my thing. Boo-doo, boo-doo, boo-doo-doo. But it is that time again, friends. I hope you all had a terrific day. Those of you in the US that had off. Whew, big sigh. We're working on a short week this week. But yeah, it's been really fun to get to do this. But I will do my outro. If y'all don't know me, I'm Kios. I do speed runs, I cook, I clean. I absolutely lose my mind and realize the outros are taking longer than usual, but we will give you the rundown. This week's schedule is an absolute cacophony of just whatever happens. Shelby and I have closing on a house on Friday, and then we have to pretty much get everything out of here over the weekend. And I will probably need to take off part of the day Monday so I can hand in the keys here and we can GTFO for realsies. But if you want to keep in line with what we have going on, feel free to check out the Discord. That'll probably be the easiest and quickest way to. I'll just be like, yeah, hey, I'm going live. Is what is. Also, good place to link up if you want to play some games with us over the weekend. Not this weekend, unfortunately, but definitely the following. Cooking boats also go there. Oh God, there we are. There is the YouTube. If you want to catch up on our playthroughs of this or any other RPG, challenge run, speed run, tutorial, cooking stream, DJ sets, they're all there. I actually have a moto vlog to get up and process before we do start the move. If you're a tea drinker like me, check out the blends we put together for our friends over at Adagio. Proceeds benefiting the Trevor Project. Happy Pride Month. It's not here yet, but we shall celebrate it anyway, because fuck them, that's why. My wife is a very talented lady. She cooks sometimes. She cleans. She crochets. I don't know why I'm introducing you as me, but I mean, she is wonderful. She crochets. She makes ethically sourced bone jewelry, which is really freaking neat. And also 3D prints some stuff. So check out her Etsy. Last but not least, you want to help with the move or anything that we need to do with it, by all means, feel free to check out the Throne wish list. I just like being transparent about stuff, and it's honestly the easiest way to do it. Get yourself some extra cooking boats, and my undying gratitude. But hey, we shall call it here, and we will go find somebody to raid. There we go. That should probably work better. All right. Okay. Do we want to see a game about a duck and its salami, or VTubers doing the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog?
There's YouTubers who have done the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. I feel like we should pay that forward. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, we're gonna go read Gloop. You don't know Gloop? She's a fucking goober. Chaos Gremlin energy, just like most purple VTubers, to be frank. But no, she is doing the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. If you've not seen this, it's a free game. It's really cool. Y'all enjoy, and we'll check you. I don't know, fucking whenever I hit the start streaming button.
See you whenever.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.